Okay, your boy Di Mike Durbin.
Oh God, what do you do?
This is the collective brain power of these Get My Go cats. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing a third show on Billi Bhatti.
Yeah.
Really?
Joe actually called me to ask permission if he could go on it.
I needed the Godfather to give me.
Nobody listens to your show.
Nobody gives a shit except you guys, right?
I mean, why are you doing a show? Let me ask you a question. Why are you doing a show on Billi Bhatti?
I got bamboozled into doing it because I thought it was going to be a comedy show, and then it turned out it was just a clip where Billy was insulting me and insulting my wife, so I got a little pissed off, and so that's actually out now.
He insulted your wife. What do you say about your wife?
She's a dog. She has no personality. It's a good thing we don't have kids.
Does he even know her?
Wait. How does she know her?
He doesn't. So I got pissed.
He's too much, bro. He's just thirsty for fucking clout.
I got a little promo.
So let's bury him. Yeah,
Right.
Let's all five of us bury him. So like 50 people can laugh.
Yeah. This is an interesting one here that somebody's ranting about Billy. Greg and Dolphy, subject is, have you ever met with a bigger scumbag? How you doing, K100? I've been thinking about all the low-down, no-good scumbags I've ran into throughout my life, and I can't think of any bigger piece of shit than that low-life Billi Bhatti. Do you all agree with me? Do you know any bigger dirtbags than that piece of work who's still to this day banned from New Jersey? Oh, they banned him from New Jersey. Remember that? Yeah. Stay in the UK, you prick. Thanks to Billy, not any of yous. He says yous like a Jersey guy. any of yous guys.
Yeah, like
yous guys. Right, yeah.
Right.
Now Billy turned on for a guy that me and Conan stood up for. He just went straight. When we got rid of him, just like went to the gutter with his stuff, and everybody, you can see the responses. He doesn't get anybody agreeing with it though. So big deal.
Yeah, and I was real disappointed in him when the shit happened at StarCast last year, and I, kind of tried to explain to him like a grown up, like, hey, you use the show's name and my name and Conan's name to get here. I work for Conrad. Now he's all pissed off at me. Could you do something? Say sorry, whatever. Fuck them. Fuck Sean. Fuck Conrad is all I got. Yeah. I'm like, all right, there's no talking to this guy.
Right. Next is
let me just say this. This is what was alarming to me, because when he was with us, Disco, off the show, he was very respectful, right? Even on the show, he just ranted all about stupid bullshit that we told him.
Never disrespected us at all.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the minute that we threw him off the show, which was met with a lot of platitude, he turned, right? And I'm like, wow, what a cocksucker. We were working with, defending him, getting heat from the fans, right? And he did this. So, he performs self-fellatio on himself every day, saying how good he is, how great he is, how much money he makes. But bro, the guy's a fucking douche, straight up.
I'll give you the thing. This is the gist of it right here. Is if you look, this is the 9 symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder. Okay,
right.
Sense of self-importance, preoccupation with power, beauty, or success, entitled, can only be around people who are important or special, interpersonally exploited for their own gain, arrogant, lack empathy, and must be admired. And his whole issue with this show was he could not handle the criticism of the people in the message boards.
But he wasn't afraid to dish it out.
Right. He didn't know it. Like, here's the funny thing, though. Our original discussion of him, us using him on the show, is he wanted to use our YouTube channel because his YouTube was getting no views and he was on Vince's YouTube. Right. And for some reason, Vince has a lot of subscribers. I guess they've been downgraded. Vince gets like no views on his YouTube.
Right.
Like they put stuff that they're like 500 views, and he's got like 50, 60,000 subscribers, and he gets like no views on his YouTube. Well, Billy wanted to use our YouTube because we get way more. Then immediately he couldn't handle the criticism in the message, the comment section of the YouTubes. And I'm like, dude, this is not. And then they would think that we were the ones that were driving that by reading negative comments about him on the show.
Right.
And I'm like, you got to be out of your dude. It's like we read everything. It's like, it's not like the thing that they just don't like you because you're on there calling people dorks and losers and stuff. What do you think they're going to say? Yeah. I mean, come on.
It confused me because if he's been in the public, light, whatever, since Big Brother, which was 15 years ago, and he wasn't liked then, and he wasn't liked on Sports Kita or wherever, whatever. He wasn't liked on the brand that much. Like he should have been used to it before he got here. It's not like our listeners are any worse than anyone else.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a complete delusion, So I'm not even going to read this next one, okay? Because this guy, I just want to ignore this, I
knew this was coming.
Yeah, so it's just people talking about stuff that Billy's saying on his shows. And it's like I'm just ignoring it. I didn't want to read this. It's like we're trying to ignore the guy. So he's basically he's gone off the rails. He's just like the guy's got.
He's having a mental. The mental midget is having a mental breakdown because people write to me. Some guy was like, here's what Billy said about you, and he sent me a video, right? And I didn't even look at it. I don't give a shit.
Right.
I don't give a fuck, bro.
The guy's narcissistic personality disorder. He's trying to get back at everybody. Like he got embarrassed because we kicked him off the show, and
not only that,
his way of trying to whatever.
Right. Besides being the load that his mom should have swallowed, bro, he was universally disliked on this fucking show.
And he thinks
it was like 90 to 10%. Right. Why would we go out of? Why would we? If we're defending you, why are we going out of our way to only read people that are burying you?
Why would we use them? Is a better question.
Exactly. He don't understand that.
Right. I don't understand that. So.
Well, first of all, let me just say, remember, Joe, when Billy used to say, "Oh, you don't read the positive letters about me," which we did, but they were very little, and people still burying this guy. Bro, somebody sent me this thing, and he said that he was on some podcast for 4 hours talking shit. And I said, "I'm not gonna." And I said, "I'm not." Okay, well, I just told him I'm not going to listen to even 2 minutes. So he sent me some screenshots. Bro, this guy's plainly delusional, and he's just performing fellatio on himself. He thinks he's the biggest thing. What a fucking joke. I'm glad we did drop him. But anyways, that would be a very good match.
He's gonna hit me up in my DMs now because you said that like all we do is talk about him. And I said, dude, you get 2 sentences out of 7 hours of every week. That's because we're responding to somebody like you. It's like we're not like talking about you all the time.
How about the one where he threatened to put our phone numbers out? What happened, Joe? Remember that?
Oh, something like that. I don't know who that was. That was addressed to like all of us, maybe. Where
I don't know if he actually did that.
No, he didn't.
No. He was mad that if we didn't do something, he was going to publish our phone numbers, and I was like, I'll just change my phone number. What's a big fucking deal?
Yeah. P.S. I'm a fan of Billy, but the dude's got to stop sounding like he's broadcasting underwater. He may have Momoa hair, but he's not Aquaman. That's actually good. I've never heard that correlation, but he does have the Momoa hair. They'll be like that. I think like.
Bro, can you believe that Billi Bhatti wanted to be our representative, and I had to tell him no, like various times.
Right, like he was completely oblivious.
And then when he saw that didn't work, he was like, well, what if I bring my son and he asked a question? I go, no, bro, absolutely not.
It's like you've been burying these people like
and that
personally and stuff.
He's got a lot of heat with the boys, Like I don't know one guy that after I got rid of him, and even before I got rid of him, any wrestler that I had or any guy that was in the business, all of it was like, why are you working with that scumbag? I can't believe you. You really, this guy's an asshole. This is really going to hurt you. And I was like, I don't give a fuck, And
Yeah, and that has nothing to do with journalism or this show. That's just Billy really wants to be in and around wrestling. He fucking
I don't even know why.
And that's okay because
which is weird. I don't know why.
Imagine this. You're paying to come from England all the way to the United States various times a fucking year to watch wrestling. Okay? Bro, I know you're a big Guns Rose fan. Would you travel to England to see them?
Swan sent an email to congratulate the show and officially passing 35 million views on YouTube. There was a mild dip in views in November, but wouldn't you know it, views start rising as soon as the wrestling former was stopped being uploaded. It's almost as if the K100 YouTube subscribers don't like Billy and don't want wrestling former on the channel. I can see the view count and subscriber count is back on the rise, so here's to a great 2023 for the Conan and Hughes show. P.S. What do you guys think about thigh slapping? P.S. Does Bill Body care about his... Yeah, I'm not going to read this. This is him trying to be funny.
Ban him.
Yeah, he's banned again.
That's it, buddy.
Next is some Jeff.
Who would your Mount Rushmore be? The guy asked the question.
Yeah,
who would yours be, Joe? You want me to start? I'll start.
Yeah.
Number one, without a doubt, would be Body. Bro, he's definitely the middle part of a centipede, and he's definitely the load his mom should have swallowed. And he definitely in the future will have a receipt coming.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get My Go, episode 89. I'm Joe Feeney, Creative Control Network, K100. Just wanted to take this time at the start of the show to apologize for my behavior on Get My Go episode 88, where I was yelling and screaming and threatening to fight people and insulting someone's kid's mother. You know, that's just not becoming of who I am and how I like to represent myself. So I would just like to say sorry to Billy, and I'm also very sorry that Billy's so upset with me and obsessed with me as well that he has to bring me up, because until we did the Get My Go episode right there, I hadn't thought about him in weeks except to mock him to his co-host and maybe in a DM here and there. I feel bad because he thinks he has all these insults and critiques of me that somehow working in the podcasting business that he wants to work in and being able to work from home and then buy a house and not living in my dad's bar, like, are bad things. I'm sorry, Billy. And I hope one day you can reach the state of inner peace that I found, because I love my job and I love my wife and I love our house and I feel great, and you don't. You know, I feel bad for you. I think one day maybe you'll find your path, but you know, it's certainly not going to come through being better than Meltzer, you know, or going to every WrestleMania. These aren't achievements. Why don't you just achieve something? Work on yourself a little bit. I'm here for you. You need any help? You need someone to talk to? I have some experience with mental health problems and anxiety and depression. Maybe I could help you. I mean, I'm doing all right, so maybe you should try to follow my example. That should be what you do.
So you took the mental health day that Billy suggested. And by the way, if you didn't know by now, my name is Chad. And as always on Get My Go, I'm joined here by the Aussie Guy, and as well as the man behind Get My Go, Mr. Mike Durban. And as Joe just aired his soul to all of the listeners, I think we're ready to get into a little bit more into the frustration column. So, Mike, what are we tackling today on Get My Go?
Yes, check out episode 88. It'll make more sense.
Very embarrassing.
Not embarrassing. Led us to where we are at right now. We are going to listen to one clip for this entire show. Last episode was a bunch of random stuff, and then it got into Billi Bhatti clips that Dean got for us, and now we are going to listen to a very special clip. This is something that somebody sent it to you, and
Don't say. You didn't tell me the story. I mean, he did send it to me last year too, so yeah.
All right, so this is a clip that we were sent by a mysterious source, an anonymous source. It was after the recording of one of the Podcast on a Pole episodes, which was the show with Vince Russo, Billi Bhatti, and Cab Manning. It didn't last that long. It was a free show, right? It wasn't on the brand feed, I don't think.
Podcast on a Pole, I believe, was a separate, not associated with the brand project for Vince. It was around that time, like, you know, Vince had done Truth or Consequences, and it was not associated with the brand. Then he started to work in his own Patreon thing, which, of course, is brand related, but wasn't on the brand channel. It was a separate brand extension. But then he did this thing with Billy, which I believe was on the Billy Cav podcast RSS. Or whatever they were doing at the time.
And then they had their own separate Patreon, which was under the same name, Podcast on a Pole, I think. And I think it was basically like Vince was doing it as not a favor, but like a trade. It was a trade for Billy going on the brand and doing his news show on there. So it was like tit for tat. And
not really.
So yeah, it's not an equal trade.
That's like trading your 1954 Willie Mays baseball card for a 1993 Von Hayes baseball card.
Oh, not Von Hayes.
Sorry, I had to throw a Phillies reference in there.
Yeah, I knew. I was waiting for Todd Pratt, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I love Todd Pratt. Wouldn't disparage Todd Pratt.
Did you have Todd Pratt on the Diamond Series?
Okay, fellas.
No baseball art. No,
anyway, so what led up to this clip that we're going to hear is Vince missed a recording time for them, and I guess he was sleeping. You know, something that Joe Feeney's done thousands of times, right?
A little bit here and there.
Shows
But not Vince.
Joke and sympathize. Yeah, Vince is usually, Vince puts all his stuff in his calendar and he's usually ready to go. So this is a rare occasion. And it was the first time that Vince had ever done this to these guys. So Billy has no right to be as angry as he was. I guess Billy wrote a furious, you know how he can get. He sent a furious email to Vince. And then, the next week, I guess they did this episode. And then what we're going to hear is what took place after the recording of their episode. So obviously it was like a 30-minute clip. I cut it down. I cut a lot of stuff out because it's, stuff that people shouldn't hear. Dean.
I heard it mentioned. Sorry. Did somebody put this on the Patreon?
Yeah, it was on their.
But so this was on their Patreon though. So this isn't actually dirty. If this got released, this isn't dirty.
It's been released from what I understand. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, no, I don't think that's dirty behind the scenes bullshit.
Briar, elsewhere.
Fine.
In fact,
whoever's released it, that's public fucking, yeah.
Whoever sent it, they probably just got it from there.
Yeah. So anyone could have submitted this to us.
Yeah.
Anyone that paid money to be on their Patreon.
And so Mike's the only one that's heard it previous because I haven't heard this.
I've never heard it.
I had it. I don't think I listened to it. He sent it to me last year. He sent me 2 clips to listen to last year. I listened to one. I don't think I ever listened to it.
Let's be more vague.
They, them.
They, them.
So I've been sent this clip in the past, but I don't think I fully listened to it because I was also sent another clip that I did listen to, and I remember listening to the second clip.
Oh, wait, I forgot one thing I really should have said in the beginning, and now I feel bad about that. Now there's just more guilt. When I was talking about how I loved a variety of things in my life, I forgot to talk about how much I loved the Get My Go listeners and the K100 listeners and the Raven Effect listeners, because it really is a nice thing to have a positive relationship with your listeners, and you make friends and you have DMs and you advise people, and then sometimes they'll advise you, and next thing you know, it's like a big happy family. And again, that's something I wish Billy could experience, but he doesn't have any friends or listeners.
He's got that little guy that loves touching Matt Riddle's bare body. Body, not body.
So let me tell you about that guy. He probably is only friends with Billy because of the access that Billy will literally tell him, hey, go to this place, go to this place, go to this place. That's probably the only reason why he talks to him. That's just my speculation.
Yeah, but Chad, how hard is it? And I'm no autograph seeker. I don't follow whatever. I don't even own an autograph. But how hard is it really? Like if someone asked me before I ever worked in podcasting, hey, Feeney, AEW's in town. I want to try to meet the Hardys. Where do you think they go after the show? You say the fucking Marriott in the airport Marriott. But everybody knows that. So why is Billy's information so special? He knows hotels and restaurants. That's not really, I don't.
Some things are a little different now. It's not as easy as just them picking that one hotel that you would think. Sometimes they split them up. Sometimes the bigger stars are in completely different areas and, not even in the same town. So I can see there being information that is solicited from people that are working in certain spots. But that is probably the only reason why that creepo guy that we've seen all those pictures of associates with Billy is because of him saying, "Hey, you need to go to this dinner place here because you're going to meet the Undertaker. He's gonna come out. You're gonna get his autograph on this elite figure, and I'm gonna sell it for $900."
Speaking of that guy, you know what he did at I think it was, what was the last thing? Survivor Series? This guy, no, it had to be the AEW show because it's an AEW wrestler. What this guy did was he went to whatever hotel Edge was staying at, Adam Copeland, and he got a picture with him, and then Edge autographed his arm like in a weird spot. He got Edge's autograph tattooed on his arm.
Isn't it Billy's friend?
Wait.
Yeah, Billy's friend.
That's your associates. That's your people.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Back to episode 88 where I didn't elaborate. I'll elaborate now. Billy talked about why he didn't go to Survivor Series. One, he couldn't get his son out of school again because there's been so many trips this year.
Holidays.
Yeah, so he goes, I couldn't go see that without my son, and that would be wrong. But then he went on to say, also my friends were idiots and went to AEW the week before and then couldn't get get more time off work. So he completely fucked his previous point of saying I couldn't go without my son.
Yeah,
by saying I would have gone if my friends would have gone, but he didn't want to go on his own. So yeah, he's an idiot.
Can you imagine how that conversation went with the school and Billy, where it was like, excuse me, Mr. Bhatti, your son has been missing too many days of school. Is there a specific reason why? Yes, we have to go to America because he has to get his Carmelo Hayes NXT figure signed at the arena entranceway, or if we don't get him there, we have to sit at the airport by the baggage claim. That's not a good reason. You can't take him out of school for that. I have to do that for work.
Ted's been dying all week to do his fucking English accent.
Dude, were you practicing in the mirror? It's like the old school practice your shit in the mirror.
Yeah, he saw the pop ears he got last week, and he went, you know what? I'm bringing the gimmick this week.
I've been sitting on that one for a while.
In all honesty, too, it was nice. Sorry, Mike, you mentioned Billy and his son, and it was like, if the real reason was I want to take my son to stuff, it'd be great, but it's just not. It's to be a sneak and a weirdo and look for autographs. But it was still nice to see them at StarCast and everything like that. The only problem, like what I thought was a shame, was he was there for SummerSlam, and I don't know what happened with his connections or tickets. He had this whole plan to be in Nashville, and in the meantime, I got tickets the day of from somebody, and I was sitting on the floor, and Billy was way up in the stands. Like, I just, I feel bad.
All right.
Let's get to the clip.
Here we go. All right. So this is the start. This is before they're waiting for Vince to come in the recording. So apparently Billy has a microphone, but he's trying to figure out how to hook it up. I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of chaos, a lot of noise, a lot of shitty sound by Billy, a lot of pro sounds by Cav. Cav and Rad Rob, two of the greatest sounds in podcasting, in my opinion. Two great professionals.
Let the fireworks begin.
It's the same link.
Oh, it's just the same exact thing?
If you don't record on it, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, yeah, you never recorded on it. Oh, boy.
I wonder what he's going to say.
I'm very curious myself.
I really didn't say anything that wasn't 100% true.
It's just harsh, that's all.
What was harsh?
I mean, you have no filter. That's the problem. There's no compassion. There's nothing.
Yeah, but when it's when shit's been going on for too long.
I was I'm thinking, I go, fuck, this might be a weird fucking show too, because if everyone's pissy. Shit. This could be the last fucking show.
No, because then I just don't do the other show. So,
I know. Well, I mean, if he's like, fuck it, I don't care.
What else are people signing up for on that tier?
I like Cav.
I just don't get, Cav sounds so good, and Cav's a pro. If your partner is coming on and that's what he sounds like, I would tell him, hey, you got to get this fixed, man. You don't sound good. You sound like shit. If any of you guys came on sounding like that, I would be like, you know what? We're not hitting that record button until you get that sorted out.
I mean, that sounds awful. With Dean. We did before with Dean. Yeah. He was having an issue. We helped him.
It's a quick fix.
No, we didn't. We let him record the whole show like that.
Yeah. It's I don't get it, man. It's not only this show. It's other shows that I won't name right now. But
damn, I had something. It's too bad we're not on streamer. I had something to share and show you that you would have enjoyed.
Yeah,
you guys were both praising Cav and Rad Rob for their sound and all that. But when Rad Rob was producing Brad Shepard Unleashed, this was this clip that I found today when I was going through my old screen recordings. Obviously, I didn't send it to Mike, but basically, the show starts with Brad Shepard going, as this is a test.
Welcome to Brad Shepard Unleashed. This is a test. Test. This is a test. Audio test here. Audio test. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Testing. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Testing. Okay. Testing 1 2 3 4. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's get started. One of the reasons that I hate HOAs is that everything is so uniformed.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so Russo's about to come in, and then obviously we're not going to listen to that part, and we'll just skip ahead to the ending.
Hi, Vince.
Yeah.
So, how are you?
Good.
Billy, you ready? Because I'm going to do the introduction, and then you have that first thing. You got all the notes?
Yeah, hold on.
Oh my God.
Shit. All right. Here's mine.
Jesus.
All right.
Jesus Christ. Somebody doing construction?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you'll just see it when it comes on. Fucking hell. You'll see it when it comes on to record. All right.
What's up, everybody? It is Podcast on a Pole, and it is August.
You can already tell there's tension. You can tell on Vince's end there's tension. Vince is not happy, and then you got Billy throwing like garbage cans down the stairs and shit. What the fuck, man?
Like I said, I like Kev, and obviously because we're gonna do something this coming year. But like, I'm enjoying the mischievous side. Like I can hear it in his voice, even when it's just him and Billy, that he's just amused by this fucking guy. It's like, what, you ever have a friend that's just a fuck up? Yeah. And you invite him out because he's going to fuck up and it's funny and sometimes it makes you look better. Well, it's the same thing, but like when he said, "How you doing?" to Vince, like, oh, it was fucking funny as shit. That just hit me right. Like, because you know what he's doing. He's already egging it on. Yeah. He's a puppet master.
Yeah. But yeah, Vince's tone stood out pretty clear.
What's up, buddy?
Anyway, I'm Cav Manning. That's Billi Bhatti. That's the man, Vince Russo. And we'll see you monthly. Okay. There we go.
This is me shaking my head at you in disgust. Bro, do you have any idea what I went through this weekend?
Yeah, I know. I know that.
No, you don't know. No, you don't know.
I watched you.
If you know, you're not sending me an insane fucking email, bro. You're out of your mind sending me an email like that. Are you insane sending me an email like that?
Yes.
In a word, that's exactly what it is. Hit the nail right on the head. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Billy, obviously, as Kev mentioned, he has no filter. He has no compassion. He doesn't take social cues. And I could go out on a limb and say that Billy is. But I don't know, dude. He's not normal, man. He's
not normal, but like that's insulting to.
I know that's why I'm going to edit that out.
Yeah. No, leave it in because it's.
I'm not saying it to be mean. Like I guarantee you, he's got some form.
No,
he definitely eats.
I understand what you meant, but I've grown up with people. I've known people's relatives or whatever, and they have trouble with social cues, and they can be rude.
Yes, and they don't mean to be. That's just the way.
And they don't mean to be, but. Nothing like Billy acts, and Billy means to do it, you know. And I'm not going to talk as much this time because I was rambling the last one. But I already feel bad at the start because before we ever did any of this, and I was joking at the beginning of the show, but I do honestly feel bad for Billy. So I feel bad that he can't control himself, and then I always feel bad when people are dicks to Russo. Like that bothers me because he's always been so good to me, and he's just like he's a nice guy, and he's older now, and it's like. I'll listen and stuff, but the idea of what he sent to this poor dude in an email that just had a problem, like, go ahead.
Yeah,
he's a narcissist, is what he is.
Totally.
He's a complete narcissist. The world revolves around him. He thinks everything needs to stop because he's got something to say, and he's got this no filter that, like Cav said. And to me, there's always a respect factor, and Vince gets that respect. You should never, ever bring podcast bullshit onto the plate of somebody that you're dealing with at that capacity. Is absolute ridiculousness.
I just want to say, first of all, the whole narcissist thing, yeah, maybe, but there's way too many people just being psychiatrists on podcasts. So I'm not going to go that far. He is a fucking spoiled brat, though, and that fucking stands out. He is a spoiled fucking brat. I love that Joe said, I'm not going to talk much this episode, and then went on like another 90-second fucking
that wasn't
rant.
90.
But no, Cav said about Billy, he goes, oh, you're unfiltered, which that's like code for
asshole.
You're an idiot. Like you just say whatever, trying to be, edgy. But hearing Vince here, like he is on point and it's unfiltered Vince. You don't hear this kind of Vince. Like this is not show Vince. This is true Vince. You don't hear F-bombs like that from Vince Russo. He is really laying down the law here. I like hearing this, Vince.
Cav, from a business point of view, am I going to put more priority on a show that pays me or one that pays me nothing? From a business point of view.
Sure. The money job, like I say with my job.
That's a different way of looking at it, because the thing is that I do a show review, which is very popular, and a part of me doing that show is for you to do this show. So it's how much you value me as a person.
But bro, I missed one show and you went off like a lunatic.
No, it wasn't about missing one show. It's about like just generally, it's generally like this whole thing, right? I want to just make sure we're on the same page, because I understand the podcast and a poll is a favor to me, right?
Right.
But do you understand the part where this show gets between 2.5?
Okay, so Billy's mad that Vince, apparently the night that he missed their recording, he ended up doing the live stream Raw watch along that he does with Dr. Chris Featherstone. And so he made that recording, and that's probably what made Billy even more mad, because he skipped out on theirs, but he made the Raw watch along show.
So he wrote Vince an email
hold on. He actually gets paid from the Dr. Chris show. So that's what he's saying. One show pays him, and the Billy show does not, he doesn't make $1 off it. So it's like, what's more important? What's the priority here?
So then Billy handled it like he would text a girl who said she was busy and was actually out with somebody who wasn't a fucking loser. Like that?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
And the part where this show gets between 2.5 to 3,500 listeners a month. So you can actually use this show as a way to like get all your other stuff out there. And if we promoted it, we could be even bigger. We could all be the beneficiaries of your brand, my brand, his brand. Like, we can do more with this show. This is a really popular show.
So whatever microphone he was trying to hook up, I don't know if he used it on the show. I didn't listen to the actual show, but now he's just screaming into the laptop or whatever tablet whatever he's recording on. He's screaming into it from across the room.
Yeah, I got from the audio earlier that like all the fumbling around and clunk, because he was saying, let's get this microphone working.
Yeah.
So I think he plugged the microphone in, but didn't go to settings and select that microphone. Okay. Yeah.
It's always somebody else's fault, and it's always because someone's not promoting Billy enough. But whenever Husey tried to promote Billy's name on the YouTube, it died. All his comments were negative. All the emails were negative. And now that I'm happy and calm, I could say I never sent in any emails purposely or held any other emails back purposely. And that's just ludicrous. And even after the Starcast thing happened, as I've said before, like I even hooked up Billy with Spreaker, which he never brings up, because why would I hook him up? That runs counter to his argument. You know, I was made it in for like a weekend, and then I said, fuck it. Did I like working with him? No. And you guys all know that. But that has nothing to do. I wouldn't do that to somebody no matter what. I wouldn't fuck somebody out of work, I guess you could call it, whatever he was doing.
Okay, first of all,
we can do more with this.
Okay, first of all,
we can sell t-shirts, all kind of shit.
First of all, Cav, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
These numbers he's never spoken to me about before.
Because they're probably not real. Like, how accurate? Again, we've said this for 3 years now. Plus, like, whatever numbers and whatever charts you see, they're not real. You know,
No, I've heard about your real numbers, dude. And
Yeah.
come on, stop
I
it.
mean, you can look at any YouTube numbers that Billy's put out on. I mean, he's got a bunch of different YouTube channels and whatever, and they're all extremely, extremely low. And I wish Husey was on right now he could give us actual numbers, because I mean, he screenshots us stuff all the time, like how low anything to do with Billi Bhatti does on YouTube. It's insane.
Yeah.
Not that we're, of course, if people are gonna write, oh, you guys only get 800.
700.
Yeah, you guys get 700, 800 views. Like, I've never once in 89 episodes bragged about any numbers we've had. I'm not saying that, so save your argument.
He's just cancer to any platform or podcast or website, because he's never satisfied. He causes problems between other people, and he pushes listeners away big time. He is a problem for anyone that works with him. And he doesn't realize anything. It's because he's not getting enough attention. Dude, if someone were to pay to advertise a show that he was on, they'd be throwing their money down the toilet. Because even if someone was a fan, once Billy shows up, it's over, dude. He is cancer.
Up to this.
I thought it was obvious. Like, we're in the top 20 wrestling. We're in the top 20. We're in the top 20 every month when we come out. So.
Can I talk to Cav, please?
Right.
I've known nothing about numbers ever. So he has never told me about numbers.
Yes, I sent you some screenshots of our chart positions a few times.
Bro, you must be sending these to somebody else, because I'm not getting the stuff you say.
You know what you're saying? We're outside the top 10, but we're behind all of Conrad's stuff. That's where we're sitting at the moment.
No.
Boy, oh boy.
I was just about to say prior, when he started talking about numbers, somebody please tell me that he's going to talk about the charts, and it happened immediately. So that's great.
Chartable, baby. Woo. There's a guy on Chartable who I've never heard of that's like number 3. Like Steve Austin is like number 4. What was the last time the Steve Austin show updated?
Totally. Totally.
Yeah, so when I see you just doing a watch along as normal, I figured, but then obviously there's that. So I'm annoyed about 3 things. That you didn't do ours and then you did theirs. I'm tired because he's going to get up at he's not here tonight, but the dog's going to get up at 6 and Austin's going to get up at 7. So I know my sleep's gone. And then when I finally emailed you, Cav was saying to me, we might not get this out before SummerSlam because we just don't have the days. Like, Vince wants it on this day, I can't do it on this day. So unless we do it on Wednesday, Thursday, that's when I emailed you, like what I said. Like, but at that point, so many things had happened where I was just pissed off. But
this is like, I've listened to one episode of Billi Bhatti podcasting, and that was the episode I clipped. That's the only one I've ever listened to in full, 38 minutes. And he is right into what he does when he's all on his own. He's just branching off into all different topics. And I think a lot of people just with him just zone out. It's just like, I can't focus on what you're saying. I cannot focus on what he's saying right now because he keeps just disappearing into different areas. It's like, wait, what are we talking about now? What's going on?
And
like,
you're hearing a 12-minute condensed version. If you want to hear the 30-minute one, Dean, he really goes off.
Yeah, we'll send it to him.
It makes no sense. I don't know what he's on, dude.
I'll do a rad rob on my show, and I'll get into the dirty shit.
Generally, even before that, obviously in a much more light-hearted way, or in a calmer way, I was going to say to you and say, hey, Vince, I think that we need to get on the same page with podcast and a poll. It could be bigger and more beneficial than you think, because I think you think I owe Billy this favor, so I'm going to suck it up and do it. But actually, we got a popular show that has a lot of listeners. Like, we're right outside Conrad, and we're basically behind all of the wrestlers like Jericho and Conrad and Shivani and Jim Ross. But then we're next there. So I don't know what we have to do to get there, but we've been sitting there for a while.
I don't know what we have to do to get there, but we've been sitting there for a while.
New host.
Yeah.
Anybody that could get, and I said this back when Matt Kuhn was doing a show with Vince, and they fell out or whatever, they didn't agree on the direction of the show, that anybody that could get Vince to sit down, every week and go over a Raw or Nitro and keep him interested because he doesn't want to do it. and had the right approach and the right research would have a hit show. But it could, and Matt's show with him was all right at the beginning, but I can't imagine Billy's was, and I don't need proof. So, but no, Billy, you again were probably the problem with the show, and the charts don't mean anything, and I don't want to repeat that a million times, but you sound like a moron.
The clip I threw away from the last episode, Mike, just quickly, Billy said like he expected it to happen quickly, where he was the top of all the dirt sheets and had all the, and I was just like, that is the key thing with all of these people that become lolcows, is that the delusion of they think they're going to be a star no matter what, and he got a little bit of fame because of Big Brother, so they think he's going to be a star. So
yeah. All right, Dean. Well, it's Christmas Eve right now in Australia.
It is.
It is. It's time for you to go.
Yeah.
Santa's got to, get stuff ready, right?
Yeah, Santa still has to do his Christmas shopping. So,
oh my God, come on!
It's a tradition for me. I do it on Christmas Eve.
Right, right.
Yeah.
We hope you have a great Christmas, Dean. Tell us quickly about Dean. Just go ahead with your plugs, man.
YouTube.com/@United States of Australia. We do live shows a couple of times a month, at the very least. The podcast feed is moving to Creative Control Network. It might have even been moved there by now, by the time this episode comes out. But that's happening. But yeah, check your favorite podcast apps for that. And on Twitter, I'm at That's Aussie Guy. Just imagine that Aussie Guy put an S for the A should be.
I completely forgot.
The one thing I will say though, when you said to Cav, oh, he's talking to me like Sean Ross Sapp. Actually, one thing about me is, if I have a better relationship with you, if I like you, which is weird, you're more likely to get that email. Like Cav's had shit like that. Like it's, I don't actually go off on people that I'm strangers with. I actually like if I have something, I felt like that was building up, and I felt like, okay, I really need to let him know that podcasting a poll is important, because the thing is that one thing I've never said is, while I've been doing the Nitty Gritty Dirt Show, my patrons have gone down, which makes sense because people are turning around and going, fuck it, Russo's show is cheaper, all the news is on there anyway, we get Billy plus Russo plus a whole load of other stuff. So if we're not buying the betting packages, so I lost all my a lot of my $10 guys. But the thing is that I've never cared, because getting podcasts in a poll done was like the priority. So whereas sometimes I think you think maybe, oh, this is just some shit that we're just an extra shit thing that we're doing every month. Actually, it's not. Like it's a shit thing that me and him already did like a few years ago. And then we're like, now we're doing it properly with you, like again, like, and also like, whereas like we sit here for an hour and do the show, we watch Raw and Nitro back the whole time and make like pages of notes. So I'm like proper like invested in this with like hours and hours of time. So it's that, and I don't think like where you're like, okay, sometimes I feel you're thinking, all right, I got to get this done. I got to squeeze it in. But for me, it's like quite important.
Bro, I understand that, but I forgot one show.
That's
I would have hung up by that point. I would have just clicked end and gone off. Like, dude, shut the fuck up.
It was something that was obviously building inside of Billy. So Billy might have made valid comments that he had been feeling for a while, just completely brought it at the wrong time instead of just saying, it's okay. We don't worry about it. You're here now. That's what's important. He obviously was sitting on that for a while. And, that was the most, I have to give Billy credit. That's probably the most he's ever sounded like together in trying to make a statement, right? You know what I mean? Like trying to make an actual statement. So he had that on his brain for a while, whatever's in there on his brain, but wrong time to bring it up and not relevant. And Russo's response is exactly, I think, what Mike, you would have said, Joe, you would have said, and exactly what I would have said.
It's like Dean said before he split, like it's all me shit. Like he says, like, he just dismisses it. Yeah, but I had this. I hear that. But I have 3 problems. And it's like, Vince, God bless you, dude. I don't know. I had to work with him too. So, and actually, I had to cut him what happened was he got let go from the show on Conan's decision, which Disco actually, I think, I don't know which one of those guys was the first, but they agreed and that was it. Because he was causing Disco problems and he was causing Conan problems. And he just started insulting Conan while he was kind of still on the show. It's like, what do you think's going to happen? And I still like would answer his messages. I think he messaged me once about getting my go and kind of laughed or something. And then I just said, what did you expect or something? And I laughed. And then he messaged me after the Conrad thing and was like cursing and yelling. And I was like, dude, you know what? I don't even know why I'm giving you a chance. I'm tired of giving you a chance. So that I'm just going to get your number out of here. You're getting blocked. I don't have a second for you. So peace. And I'm sure that's a repetitive thing in his life.
Okay. So after that, they kind of made up and everything seemed peaceful. So it's boring. So we're not going to listen to that. But so this is now just Cav and Billy again.
We need to, if the Realm Network's not done, then we need to just do our Adam. I need to go and buy the feed. I need to get someone. I want to get somebody really good on the first show. I would spend up to $500 to get someone big on that show who would tweet that they're on that show.
So I guess he's talking about him and Cav. If Russo decides to leave or whatever, they're gonna keep doing this show. And so anybody who, Joe, you were saying that Billy's broke and everything, and he needs money. Well, if he seems like he's got a lot of money because he's willing to spend $500 on a big name guest.
Yeah, but
I won't hear it from you anymore that Billy's broke.
To me, though, it's not a proof of any. I'm sure he probably has a little money, or you can ask his dad or whatever. Like his mom flies him around the world because she works for the airline. But he probably has money. But the problem is, if he has $800, he's gonna spend $500 on this bullshit, and that's probably his problem with money. He spends it on bullshit and stupid shit, and that's about it. And he. I don't know. Hey, one thing I'll give him since Chad already commented on him is like at least he believes in himself or projects like he does. He really thinks that he could have this #1 show despite all evidence to the contrary.
Because I'm sure you can get Sonny for $200.
It's not a wrestling person.
Oh, okay, that's good then. No wrestling. Who would be? Let me look at that because there's those people who like sports people who sign shit for fucking. Cheap.
Yeah, like let's see like who we can get like this. What about I forgot his name, which is not good. Michael Senna. Who's the fucking guy who he was in Friends, he was Phoebe's boyfriend. He's always doing shit on Twitter, what the fuck's his name? He's like more famous now for his Twitter videos.
Oh really?
Oh my god.
He's not
You know who he's talking about?
Michael Rappaport?
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow.
How did you know? How did you know that, Chad?
Because the Chatster knows things. Chatster's talked to Michael Rappaport before. Okay, I know exactly.
Well, so has Cav. Cav's talked to him too, so listen.
Man, he's not that guy? Or Paul Rudd, whoever the fuck that was? Who the fuck was that?
It's not an accent like that.
I don't know. I didn't watch Friends, really.
Yeah.
Fuck. Michael Rappaport.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Ooh. That's a good one because you know what? I've chatted with him on Instagram, so
he can't be to come on and do 20 minutes, 30 minutes and to tweet it out. Like he can't be charging like much more than that.
I will hit him up and I will text him or on instant message on Instagram, and I'll say what's going on, and I'll say for $500 would you do a half-hour interview?
Don't offer the money yet. Just ask him if we just say we're launching a new show. Like, what would it cost you to come on and talk football?
Because he's into basketball and all that shit. So yeah, and yeah, that's no problem. We could do that. I'll do it. I'll see what he says.
You think he'll reply?
Yeah, he replies when I message him.
Yeah, that's the one I want because I think he'd be good. Okay. That's like kind of the tone of the show. If not, then we would start looking at girls. Who people would still know.
Yes.
Like fucking what would what's a fucking why can't I remember anyone's name today?
You're
the
stupid.
Fucking porn star with the glasses that said that she was forced into porn.
Mia Khalifa?
Mia Khalifa, yeah. I knew Mia, but not yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great one too. She does some fucking. How the hell she forced into porn? My ass, all that money. She's a fucking big star with those big fucking Indian tits.
Yeah, do you think she would do it?
Very possible.
Kev, I love you.
See, you got to always use the "I'm from Big Brother England" because that's what I tell people.
Yeah, but I got no social media, so
yeah,
doesn't help. With the verified Twitter, like this fucking show would be easy to do.
Totally.
Well, why? What happened? Why doesn't he have social media? Whose fault was that? What happened there? Over and over and over and over and over again. Every one of his problems is self-inflicted, except for the fact that he was born without a personality. And it's very funny to hear, like, Joe has no personality. You know, I'm not supposed to interject all the time on K100, dipshit. The lack of personality that I might show is my job. And you know what happened in the last few weeks? I started talking more. You know what Conan said? I love it. Keep doing it. You know what he said when you kept talking? I don't know. He would leave the room. He would get off the call.
Nobody suggestion, guys. I don't know if you want me to do this, but I was going to think about reaching out to Tom Cruise to come on and get my go next week. If you want me to,
you know, don't offer him any money, Chad. Just tell him we're doing a new show. Maybe he'll want to come on.
No, I'm like $8 for him. So
he said, don't say anything to him about money. And in the same sentence, he was like, say $200 or something. It's like, well, which is it, you dope? Yo, Mike, can you get us? You're from Chicago. Try to get us Michael Jordan for the next episode and see how that works out. Or what about Frank Thomas?
That's a good one. I could actually.
How about Jussie Smollett?
I could probably get Frank Thomas.
Get us Jussie.
Richard Dent. Well, there it is.
This has been a journey because, like I said, it's been quite a journey. At the beginning there, I was kind of pissed. And then as I kind of felt and predicted to myself that by the end, I was just going to feel bad. And that's pretty much what I do now. I just feel bad because he's messed up so much, but he loves wrestling more than anyone in the world.
Yeah.
And he wants to be involved so bad. And it's like when you hear stories from inside and stuff that, you know, he was wandering around the bar WrestleMania weekend with his Funko Pops and everyone was kind of laughing at him and making jokes behind his back. His kid might even be seeing them laugh at him. I don't know. I feel bad. No, I feel bad. What are you doing laughing?
That's funny because he'd be so funny. Like he'd be sitting there in disappointment where his dad gets turned down for an autograph and then somebody makes fun of him and the kid's just in there being like, I'm so sad for you, daddy. He wasn't turning me down. He said that I should ask you for your autograph.
Yeah.
And someone said, like a bunch of different sources said that he got kicked out of the WWE Talent Hotel because he was trying to get like empty cans of Logan Paul's drink.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Prime.
He was trying to get empty cans signed by Logan Paul and he got kicked out for that. Like, dude, that's so fucking pathetic, man.
It's really embarrassing. Like I can't imagine that why he could possibly think he's on some pedestal and insults anyone really, but especially wrestling fans, because he's like the epitome of an embarrassing. He's not even the epitome. He's worse. He is the worst that there is. He's the worst representation of a fan because goddamn, dude. Even before I got involved in podcasting, I never bothered anyone. I never hung on the guard around, tried to talk. Like, you just leave them alone. What are you doing? I don't understand that. And now he's got a thick callus from getting kicked out of everything. I guess it doesn't matter anymore because everyone knows, you know, how many times he was kicked out of the goddamn Ric Flair's last match locker room. It was at least 3 times and someone else thought it was 5. And it's even the same person kicking him out. Like, even you as security are like, dude, come on. Like, what are you doing? You're pathetic. What is going on here?
It's funny, though, because I said this before on the show. I don't think you were on it. That people, when they have something against K100, they go right to you. They start to pick you apart. They start to trash you. And like you just said, he's desperate to get involved with wrestling in some way, shape, or form. And you've attained a status, much like some of us have in this podcasting world, where you can walk away from stuff now related to wrestling. Sometimes wrestling stuff's not even worth your time. And that he sees that, dude, and he gets so jealous. So he's just like a long list of other people that just want to pick at you because they think you're the easy target. And listen back to episode 88 and see what Joe has to say.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, but
that's all right. Cut me off. You
fat cat was stepping on my leg. He was stepping on my leg, and you know what? It's like my place on K100. It's like I think Billy would probably do it for dirt, to try to get dirt, because I've heard him off the air talking shit about guys he considers his wrestling friends and what they were doing in their hotel room that night and just spilling the beans, which you don't do. This is why they don't want fans around you, knucklehead. But I don't do K100 for that. I don't even do it to have anything to do with wrestling anymore. I do it now because I kind of just enjoy Conan and Disco. And as it's been 7 years almost. Like, Disco has no feelings. That's what Raven told me. Disco doesn't know how to feel feelings. But Conan and I are pretty fucking tight, despite the show jokes. You know, it's my boy. I like Conan. You know, he likes me. We're good. Christmas wishes are being shared. All that. The thing with Conan and me is like, yeah, he was hard on me. You know why? Because I needed that. I wasn't performing. I should have been doing more. I should have been focused. I should have been this and that. Like, the memory thing is true, you know, but I think he's got it to the point where he's like, this guy's not doing this on purpose. But like, he pushed me and it made me better. It made me a better producer. It got me more motivated to do this and that. And the show is doing better than ever. Like, every month I know we joke about Conan saying that about the Patreon, but every month it goes up. Sometimes a little, sometimes it's like, oh shit. So, and he's made me work better, and we're buddies. Like, I like spending that time with Conan and Disco. It has nothing to do with pro wrestling. In fact, when they do the show reviews, it's my least favorite part. I'd rather just shoot the shit or listen to them shoot the shit, because they've been close for decades. You know, it's the same thing with Raven Show. I'm just there to hang out, you know, like fucking, that's it. But he just wants to be close to someone that's like on TV or a wrestler, or he wants to be considered cool enough to hang out, and he's not. And even if someone's like, hey, that Billy's all right after one night, like somewhere down the line by like night 3, he's gonna fuck it up. And whether it's self-sabotage or he's really just that annoying or boring or untrustworthy that people don't keep him around. And it's like, I joked at the beginning of the show that this one I'm going to soften the tone and be serious, but I am. Like, this is like me talking to Chris Martin when he was drugged up on the show. Like, I'm serious. Like, I wish Billy would get off this fucking horse, and he's like a broken record. Everyone's holding him back. He has better news than anyone. It's all a conspiracy when no one's really thinking about him or his news or no one's holding him under their thumb, because his show, if properly produced or properly promoted, could take over the charts. Nobody thinks that. Nobody believes that. It's never going to happen. And you should just move on and do something else, like completely change your life. I mean, I know the autograph thing's probably pretty easy. You get things signed, you sell them for $600. Good. That's a good money making little scheme there. I don't begrudge you that. I make fun of you for it because it's fucking sad. But there's got to be something. Just go manage the bar. Your dad owns a bar. Just become a really, really good bar manager. Who gives a fuck if nobody knows what your name is? You think I got into podcasting so people can know my name? You think I'm on the shows now? I don't care. And that's what you need to do. You think Mike started doing a show on Russo's brand so everyone would know his name? Mike doesn't care, you know? And
he asked me to do that show with him.
Yeah. Chad doesn't care. You know, he's trying to work on a show with Francine to monetarily benefit both of them. It's not about, maybe I'll be at a show and someone's going to hey, it's the Chadster. Come here, buddy. No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. I don't care. Mike doesn't care. And you care so much that it's overflowing out of you, and your care is turning into hate and failure. So change the fucking station, try something different. And if you're going to continue with the wrestling thing, I don't know what to tell you, because your name is such shit in every company and around anyone I've spoken to. And people have come up to me, just known me from the show, and our first conversation will be them going, God, I hated that guy. And I couldn't tell you how many times it's happened. And if I told you the names, the guys that told me that, your little Mark heart would break. I mean, dude,
who are his? He keeps mentioning these friends. Like, obviously, we know Drew McIntyre.
He knew Drew because he was on an indie once, and then he would get guys in the clubs. He knows anyone that's related.
Is it Sheamus? The other
maybe
one?
Sheamus was around. Yeah,
it's got to be UK based guys, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And come on, man. And then I heard from guys that know Drew, because I never talked to Drew because I'm not as cool as Billy, but I've heard from guys that know Drew that he hates you. You're like a fly. He doesn't want people to know that he's ever spoken to you. Like, I wish I could impress on this guy how horribly he's viewed. Because it's and some people, they get that complex where all attention is good attention, even negative attention, and it's not, because all you have for a decade is negative attention, and it's grown and grown and grown and grown to now people don't even pay the negative attention because you're so far buried under it. They don't even want to hear about it anymore. They don't want to deal with it. That punk lawsuit bullshit. It made no.
It was so pathetic. Like, we should do a whole episode on that. Like, how pathetic it looked. Like, just how his story changed, and he said he was, I don't know, man.
It made no noise.
No.
It didn't catch fire.
He was so hoping for it to go viral and make noise, but
I think I saw a Reddit thread about it, and basically all the comments were like, "I'm not paying attention to this stupid shit. Hey, if it's true, I hope Punk sues his balls off because he's a prick. But otherwise, I'm not giving it the time of day." And that's where he's at in his podcasting and wrestling and just his world, really. Like, nobody wants to give him the time of day in any facet of life. And to me, I've been through my days where I was, a bad drunk and probably ruining friendships and stuff. And you just get out of it. And you're not even a drunk. You're just an asshole. Like, you got to change. You got to change. But I know Daddy's money's coming to you when he's dead. But really, that's not an achievement. And it's not an achievement. Anyone that's hanging out with you is hanging out for the free.
All right. Well, we got 2 episodes from Billy the first time we covered him on the show, and now we've got another 2 on him. So I'm sure that'll make him very happy, and he'll probably go off on Joe again.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I was done before today, but I turned it on because it was fun to do.
Yeah,
it was fun to do, and I've been so complacent about it and shit like that for a couple of years now that it felt really good to yell. But otherwise, like I said, I blocked his thing because I don't have time for him, and he's not even like a piece of a thought. Like, it's, do what you want, hold all the grudges you want with me and Sap and Meltzer and Conan and Russo and Wrestling Inc. and what was the guy's name? Raj Giri, him too, and Sports
super nice guy,
dude,
super nice guy.
Hold all the grudges you want. Just talk all the shit you want, because no one you have a grudge with gives a fuck, because you know what? They're living their life and they're being successful at it, and they're making money and they're happy with their families and all that. And you ain't got dick except an apartment full of wrestling figures and a bar downstairs that the regulars hate you at, which I've also heard. So fuck the, oh, we're going back there. Yeah. Fuck the fuck and fuck off finally, dude. Just fuck off. Just go. What is he saying, Dirty Rick? Go live in the fucking mountains and get a horse and don't bother anybody.
Come out of the why don't you go to the mountains and get
a horse and stop bothering. Yeah.
It's funny. It's the anti-cheers. Everybody, Norm comes in, everybody goes Norm. Billy comes in, everybody goes, oh shit.
I mean, and when you get tired of that, like, he's about our age. Like, don't you get tired of like fucking up and everyone not liking you or wanting you around? Don't you want? Billy, we're not doing videos too bad. I'm like talking to the camera. Yeah. Don't you want a friend like to talk to that cares about your life and you haven't pissed off or ruined the relationship or made fun of him because he didn't have as much money as you, so now he's gone? Like, don't you want to have a nice life with nice things and not and here's all you do, dude. This is coming from the bottom of my heart. Here's your whole life. All you're doing is worshiping wrestlers and reality TV stars and whoever else. All you're doing is celebrating someone else's success and achievements. It's not yours. It's theirs. Yeah. You don't have it. You are not fucking Seth Rollins or Punk or one of the Paul brothers who started on YouTube. Look at them. They're doing great, dude. Didn't you start reality TV and YouTube and all that? You didn't make it. You didn't make it. And another movie quote I'll throw in just to maybe hopefully pop Husey, who it's very difficult for me to pop. From Pulp Fiction, I will give you the Ving Rhames quote to Bruce Willis. You came close, but you didn't make it. And if you were going to make it, you would have made it by now.
It's true. Very good. Speaking of his friends, just want to wish Cav a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Cav.
Yeah.
Cav. We're laughing about it right now.
Such a good guy.
such great sound from Cav.
Yeah.
Such
he's
pro
gonna be
audio.
Money. He'll be on here.
Yeah.
Doubt it.
So shout out to Cav, and I want to shout out somebody else right now. Matt Wilson. I just see in my Twitter feed he donated blood for the 99th time in Canada. So people are living now because of they have Matt Wilson's blood flowing through their veins. So shout out to Matt Wilson, one of our great good friends. And Joe, you mentioned an apartment full of wrestling figures. Billy, if there's one more wrestling figure you can add to your collection, I have an autograph version to sell you if you're interested. You can go to MikeDurban.com and you can pick up the Conan Major Bendy's Mike Durban Productions exclusive figurine. I will have regular versions and autograph versions. My God, if it's not out by the time that this episode drops, I'm going to be fucking pissed off as fuck. But all right. YouTube.com/GetMyGo. YouTube.com/Mike Durban. At Mike Durban on Twitter. At Mike_Durban_Productions. That's it. Check out MikeDurban.com and get some Get My Go stickers. There's a few left. Get that Conan Major Bendy's figure. And go to iHeart. Where are we going to go, Chad, to see?
Eyes Up Here on iHeartRadio. You can also get it on all your podcast locations, your Spotify's, your Apple, anywhere you want to grab it. Google, do they still do it? Google Play, they're still a thing. Please download it. Also go to YouTube, subscribe there. We're on our march to 10,000. We have memberships available where there's exclusive content as well. It would really be very helpful if you could support us and help us build and get the word out. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at ChadENB.
And don't forget, Mike, as I made clear in episode 88, so that my location is known, WrestleMania weekend, we're going to have a little party at the Red Lantern. And actually, Mike, there might be something else at another bar involving some musical performances from a band or two. Maybe they have wrestlers in them. So I'm working on that too. But
Frankie?
It's possible.
The gutter sluts. What are they called? Gutter candy.
Well, I don't know if it'll be. We got to talk about it. I don't know if it's going to be the band, because then it's like, wait, I just need Frankie, But or if it's going to be a mishmash like they do at StarCast, where all the guys mix around and just we'll see. But Red Lantern is going to be a little party for Get My Go listeners and viewers. K100, Raven Effect. I figured WrestleMania is coming to Philly. I'm on or affiliated or like a side character on some of those shows, like on Get My Go, or I'm like a side partner or whatever. But so I put something together there, and it's not going to be anything, because I don't need my name in lights, Billy. All I want to do is hang out and have conversations with people. That's what I care about. So you can come there and drink. We're going to do probably a karaoke thing so people can make fools of themselves, myself included. Ideally, what I'm going to do is have 2 or 3 wrestlers there, hopefully a female wrestler lady or something to mix it up, and then that'll be your people to get a picture with and autographs if you want, and otherwise it'll just be regular folks. I know, no celebrities, Billy. Oh God, are you gonna come? Because usually, you got your nose up somebody's ass in an airport or something that was on Cheers in the finale. I don't know.
Backdoor the bar. Backdoor.
So yeah, Red Lantern, Fallcroft, PA. You know what I mean? Next April. I mean, so you can't play your Twitter shit. Oh, I can't find him, or you won't. I told you where I'm going to be. So if you have a problem with the latest episode, I don't give a fuck. That's where we'll be. And rumble.com/K100Conan, please.
Chad, take us out, please.
All right, man. We're exhausted after episode 89 here. I'm an emotional roller coaster, to say the least. But we appreciate you taking the time to listen to us. And we will catch you next time. For Joe Feeney and Mike Durban and the Aussie guy who also ducked out of here a little earlier, this is the Chad Sir, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Yeah, I fucking wore Dean out.